An instructional video by Jace Consulting Group. All right, in this segment, we're going to talk about how to analyze part of your health check here. So when we're looking at this health check, we can see that QIC has given us a detailed report of what is going on the site. And here, we're going to specifically look at the fiber loss. We're not going to focus on the other parts of the health check. We're just going to look at this fiber loss right here. So we see that there's high fiber loss on FNet beta sector at the radio end. So what we've done here is, we can scroll down through here and they will give us some information about it in the health check, but it's best if we look at this stuff through the OSS report that's in this PDF files up here. So we have the OSS report open here and we can see that our fiber loss is right here. There are other issues here like this RSSI, which we'll cover RSSI in another video. But particularly, we're going to look at this fiber loss. If you open your OSS report on your computer in PDF, in this PDF form, these blue headers right here, you can click on those, and it will take you directly to where the fiber loss is located. Right? So if we look here, we click on fiber loss, and we see our TX, RX, and BER. So your fiber, each fiber has two fiber posts on it. Each one of those posts is TX and RX, right? Transmit and receive. So these are the readings for those different side of each side of each one of your dual head fibers, right? BER is bit error rate. So in this case it's 0, but if there's errors in the bit rate on your fiber optics, then you'll have a number here and it'll be an alarm on your health check. But in this case, we don't. We just have loss, and we can see that it's on the RX side. And what's important about when you see loss in your TX, RX, and BER chart means it's related to power, right? These are power readings, right? Always on fiber, power is measured in dBm, right? Where connectivity is measured, or the fiber optic signal strength is measured in dB, right? So we see we have a fairly significant problem here with the power transfer on the RX side of our beta FirstNet, right? This is 700 beta FirstNet radio, all right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look for this somewhere else, right? We're going to look to see, we're going to do some investigating right here, okay? So we're going to scroll till we find the FirstNet beta actual fiber, the loss readings, right? So this isn't looking at power, this is looking at signal, right? The viability of the fiber optic signal itself, right? So we see 700 beta FirstNet right here, baseband 6630, port B, that RU is RU 17, and that fiber is plugged into data port 1. We get that information from this column right here. And we can see that the downlink loss is a 3.11. Now, the downlink, when you read downlink is downlink is going to be at the radio end. So it's kind of opposite, actually. If you think down is up, right? You can know downlink, when you have fiber loss in the downlink column, you know that's somewhere between the SFP card at the radio and where that fiber plugs into the squid. That's where that fiber loss is being recorded at. So automatically I know I should go to the radio and try to fix this. Now, if this is close, say we know it has to be 3.0 to a neg 3.0 to a 3.0 for new carriers, right? So if we look, and this is really close, we might try to clean it on the ground first, because it's possible that we clean it on the ground and it comes in. But if it's really far off, if it's 4 or 5 or 6, um, or even something crazy like a neg 7 or a neg 8. We need to go to the side of the fiber that this is on. So the downlink is going to be on the RRU, somewhere between the RRU and where it connects to the squid. If it's on the uplink side, that's from the trunk where it plugs into the squid down to where it plugs into the controller, right? So somewhere between the SFP card at the controller, the 6630 or XMU or DUS, up to where it plugs into the squid, all right? So we see here it's at the radio end, and if we look here, the engineer QuadGen told us it was at the radio end, but often they don't do that. So it's nice for you to be able to know what we're doing. So now we're going to search even further. We're going to look at this even further, and we're going to do some investigating. We're looking at this number right here, RU-17. So on our PDF form, we're going to do a Control F, right? And I've already typed it in. So we're going to search the PDF document for RU-17. Now the way I did that was on my keyboard, I just pushed Control F, and that's a find function. And we're going to find every occurrence of RU-17 in this document. So we found that one first, and then we can find this one. And these are all information about that RU-17, the serial number, where it's plugged in, even where it's mounted. The red information will come up this way. We can see here it's a 4478B14. That's the serial number. This is the power configuration. TXRX is 4x4. Means it has 4 jumpers on it. So there's all kinds of, and we'll cover this in other videos. But for now, we're just going to look for some fiber information, right? We can see it's plugged into the baseband 6630, port B, right? So if we keep going, here's what we were looking for, right? So what we're looking for here, we're going to look for our SFP card information, right? So we have 700 beta FirstNet at the baseband in port 6630 in port B. Here's the serial number of the baseband unit that it plugs into. And here is the baseband unit SFP card. It is a 4725, right? The fiber is plugged into data port 1, all right? And here is the serial number of the SFP card that's plugged into the radio. This is the serial number of the SFP card, and it is a 4725. So we know both of those SFP cards are compatible with each other, and they line up with the type of SFP card that goes in a 4478B14. So we confirmed that our power problem doesn't have anything to do with our SFP card type, and that everything seems to be plugged in where it's supposed to be. Now we can check with QuadGen and ask them, hey, am I supposed to be plugged in to port B here? And they will tell us yes or no. Once we do that, then we can move on to the actual physical troubleshooting of the fiber, like cleaning it and cleaning the SFP card, or replacing the SFP card, or replacing the fiber, or ensuring that the fiber optic tips are lined up with each other and are not depressed, and making sure that it's plugged into the right data port on the radio, and maybe swapping trunk pairs and following those troubleshooting steps. But until we confirm some of this other information, we could be cleaning and replacing fibers even though we have a 47.3, or which would be fine on the, if it's downstairs. But even though we had a 65.25 on one end of this, for some reason we made a mistake and put that in there. If that's the case, then we'll never fix the fiber loss, no matter how much we clean it. So we need to check these other things. All right, so when we see fiber loss, we should click on the blue. We should find where the error is. We should look at our BER chart and see if we have power problems, right? So this is a power problem. So I'm going to replace SFP cards immediately. I'm not going to mess around with cleaning anything at this point. I'm going to go ahead and replace SFP cards, probably on the radio end first. I'll just take the SFP card in the radio and put a new one in it. If I don't have a new one, maybe I take the SFP card from the baseband unit downstairs and put it in the radio, and vice versa, and see if the problem follows. That way I can identify it is the SFP card. You know, those are simple troubleshooting steps that I can do right away. If it's a power problem, it's probably an SFP card issue. All right. Your SFP card is not receiving enough, or your fiber is not receiving enough power, and that power transfer happens at the SFP card. Every SFP card has a power transfer ratio, right? A bit ratio, and that is translated into this number. So those are a little bit about how to troubleshoot your fiber loss on site.